Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to The Local Show. And thank you for carving out that special time, that little nook in your weekend that says, I got to listen to those guys on The Local Show.
We are rolling together, Tom.
Yes, we are.
We absolutely are. And
Absolutely.
yes, thank you for carving out that time. And we continue to hear folks that say, wow, I get to know local businesses. I get to know people. Certainly, well, John Murphy's here, but people in business. And it's more fun and it feels more productive knowing who we're doing business with. So here we go.
And that's great. And with Micron coming to town and all the new businesses that are going to be here, hopefully they'll all be on the show and you get to know them right from the get-go.
Yes.
You know?
Or hear them and then avoid them because you don't like them. So that's
Either
okay
way,
too.
you can make those decisions.
Get to know. Those are choices we make. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here's a guy who we have access to. He's looking svelte. It's attorney John Murphy. You got your beach bod on and ready to go. What are you getting ready for Venice Beach? You're going to go?
Well, maybe Venice, Italy at some point in time. You know, like out there, maybe get on a gondola so I don't sink it.
Yeah,
that's what I did a couple of years ago. You know,
that's great.
Yeah, I've been working hard. Thanks for noticing, Tom. I appreciate it.
That's Murphy's Law.
Yeah, Murphy's Law. That's right. What do you have? A whole stack of Richard Simmons videos, or what'd you do?
I've been working with Dr. Wendy Cinta.
Okay.
Out at Weight Loss of Central New York out in Fayetteville.
Very nice.
Wonderful physician. She was an engineer to begin with. Seems like former engineers have had a huge impact in my life.
Yeah.
But, then she went to medical school, Duke graduate.
Oh, yeah.
My brother's a Duke graduate. So it's just a great program. A great bunch of people out there helping a lot of people.
So like you, they have a process.
Yeah. They have a system, they have a process, they have a way they do things. You don't always get to see the doctor, but I know that if the doctor's entrusted people with my health, then I can trust them because she's good at it.
That's wonderful. You got a whole team of people over there.
We do. Yeah, I couldn't see everybody all the time in my office, but I have people who have been trained, who I trust with our clients, and our clients have come to trust. In some instances, want to speak to them more than they want to speak to me or Michelle, my associate.
So estate planning. Talk about the case manager's role.
So case managers are people in my office who I've trained. They're not lawyers, but they're trained in how we do things and can probably answer 90% of anybody's questions on estate planning. Their primary job is when you give us a call, either a cold call, a referral, or you've been to a workshop, to try and get the right plan for you. Now, it's not legal planning, but they're figuring out what's the right thing. And once we then onboard you into becoming a client, your next meeting is going to be with a lawyer. Okay, so only the lawyers can do the estate planning. We get that a lot. My bank did my estate planning. No, they didn't. They might be doing beneficiaries and things, but that's not estate planning in the normal course of the word. Only attorneys legally can do estate planning. But their job is to meet with you, answer your questions, make a recommendation as to the best plan they think based upon your goals, and then get you onboarded into becoming a client. And then your next meeting again is with an attorney.
But they can someone could start by making a phone call to the office and having that conversation. Does it have to be a face-to-face meeting, or can they call and say, I have a question. There was an old will, and then my son, and then this changed, and life happens to everybody. So they could call over and just talk to a case manager. I think I've known a lot of attorneys, no offense, and you and I have known each other a bunch of years, but even previously, I think your case managers know more about estate law than many attorneys that don't specialize in this. Is that fair?
I would say absolutely 100%, but we're immersed in it every day. We do training every week. We sit down, we go through all the calls they've gotten as a group. And so it's group education. Well, this instance, how do we do this? How should we handle this? Now, if something comes up that's really unique, they'll say either, you know what, I'm going to have to talk to the attorney. I'll get right back to you. Or if I'm available, they'll pull me in, right? So if you call, we're going to, see if one of the case managers is available. And if they are, they're going to take your call. If they're not, we're going to schedule a call back that they'll call you at a set time and day and have a discussion with you about what it is that you need. That call is absolutely free.
And if people want another way to do it free and really be immersed in the culture, they can go see one of your workshops.
Yes.
Okay. We got a couple of those coming up.
Yep. That's 2 hours of general education on estate planning. So many people say, what should I have? What asset or what documents do I need? I can't tell you that unless you tell me what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to avoid. If you said to me, you know what, I don't really care about nursing homes. I don't have any kids, but my sister who lives in California is going to handle my estate, and I've got a brother I want to keep out of it. I would recommend a living trust because that accomplishes all those things.
So you go, so this next Tuesday, workshops at the Hampton, right here off 7th North Street, right down the road.
Yep.
There's one in the morning at 10. There's one in the afternoon at 4. So 2 2-hour workshops. People come, and I've been to the workshop a variety of times. And each time you seem to tell a different joke. And sometimes they fly, and sometimes they sink. So we need to hear which ones. And sometimes I go, no, not that joke. But the reality is, people are there, I think, to accomplish 2 things, Tom. They look and go, okay, I'm learning some things. This guy knows what he's talking about. And he does. You teach other attorneys nationally how to do this stuff.
Yeah, we thought.
Right? But maybe even more importantly, I can trust his firm. I can trust him with my stuff. It isn't about going to school and understanding all the rules and and having a test. This helps them craft a plan. If you do it, great. If they choose to do it in a different way, they certainly have that choice. There's no pressure there.
Nope.
But they can register to have those things done. And if you've been putting it off, you can go there. I wrote the number down, 370-9977. That's the number we give a lot here. You can register even on the weekends online. They got some folks that'll do that at 370-9977, or they can go on the website, Safe Harbor Wills and Trust. But the questions are answered, and sometimes it's almost kind of fun. People raise their hand and ask questions. You're like, that's a good question. Everyone there seems to sort of have the same mission, which is to protect their stuff and not have the government take control of it or not lose it. Is that fair?
Yeah, most people, the way that we, advertise the workshop is protect your home and life savings. So either people have had a parent or a good friend, seen somebody go through everything, lost it to long-term care because they didn't plan ahead, right? Some people are there because someone's going into a nursing home. And we call that a crisis situation. Those things we can do. But primarily it's centered on pre-planning, getting things taken care of. And you'll be given a chance to schedule an appointment if you want to go forward. If you don't want to go forward, that's fine. We're not going to harass you and
no, that's not your way.
Say, hey, why didn't you go forward? That's providing education to the public. The more you know, the better off you'll be able to make a decision. And sometimes people come and say, boy, I guess what I got is pretty good. I don't really need to do it.
Talk the difference briefly between documents and planning.
Documents are things you'll go get on Rocket Lawyer or one of those places, and you're filling in their questions. But there's no nuance to it. So we don't want to be a document firm. Okay. We don't want to be transactional. We want to have a relationship with our clients. So everybody who goes through with a trust plan automatically for the next year is still a client to call us anytime that they want to with questions. You're not going to get a bill. We call it our client care program, continuous access to reliable expertise. Okay. And we're going to meet with you a year later because there's always things that you need to do that I can't do.
Right.
I can't go to the bank and change your bank account.
Sure.
Either the beneficiary, put the owner as a trust. That's stuff that you have to do. We give you directions on how to do it. And if the bank's not sure what to do, call us when you're there. We'll talk with them.
So these things have a process, and they're not just black and white questions.
Right. And then we have people call us with all kinds of things. And we've had people in our care program 10 years now.
So the workshop coming up here, Tom?
Yes.
Tuesday, be there or be square, or maybe both. I don't know. 370-9977, or go online, Safe Harbor Wills and Trust. It'll be worth your time. We did it with Mom many years ago with the family camp.
Yes.
And the camp is protected for the family legacy. So thank you, John.
John, have a great rest of the day. Okay, buddy?
Thanks, guys.
That's going to wrap up the local show, buddy. So we're moving on, and you're going boating, and I'm going to go put paint on my fingernails. again. Fun stuff. On behalf of the local show, Zoey Advertising, and Tom and Steve, God bless you and your families. Take a walk today and every day with a friend or family member or John Murphy, and it keeps the weight down and the mind clear. The local show is heard every Saturday morning from 11 to 1, and then again on Sunday morning from 7 to 9. Listen together with a friend. Until next week, get down to business and keep doing business locally. Tell your friends about the local show right here on 570 WSYR 1069 FM, the iHeartRadio app, and on YouTube at Zoey Advertising 3809.